Tim, it seems PBC and social media are kind of putting you as the B-side on this. I mean, I see the sign behind. Obviously, Thurman has fought in 4.5 years, one fight in 4.5 years, but do you feel disrespected in this, being the B-side clearly on the paper?
Oh, look, I'm the champ at the end of the day, so that's all that matters to me. And I know what I possess and what I'm going to bring. So B-side, A-side, I don't really give it. I don't care about that bullshit. It doesn't bother me.
This is going to be your second fight here in the United States. You know, why do you feel that you can be a box office sensation here in the U.S. and break through in this market?
Because you know what? There's no more old school fighters these days here anymore. They're all a bunch of pussies. They fight once a year, then they go on 2-year vacations. I actually fight. Last year we did 3 shows with Showtime, and that was the most any fighter did in the whole year. So for me, it's just activity. I'm willing to fight anyone, and I do damage when I get in the ring.
So what do you think when you found out that it was Keith Thurman?
Man, I got a video. I was so pumped. I was so excited, full of energy. The whole occasion is something that you dream as a young kid. So for me to be performing at this stage with a caliber of opponent like Keith Thurman, to have someone like that on your resume, it's good.
Do you think you're going to get the credit because you mentioned activity? You fought 3 times, and Keith hasn't fought for a while, and he's moving up in weight. You know, it's a big name. He's only lost to Manny Pacquiao, razor thin close. So do you feel like the boxing fans are going to give you the credit for this win, or is that's just boxing in general?
Oh, look, I really don't care about the critics. You know, he's the one that's going to be in trouble, not me. You know, I can just keep fighting who I can. You know. There's a list of names. I feel like I'm John Wick, and there's a list of names that I'm just trying to tick. And I'm like a Grim Reaper. I'm holding it, and again, Keith Thurman will be just another name on the John Wick hit list.
Who else is on that hit list?
Man, there's plenty. I want the big names. I want the best fights. I'm not scared of no one. You know, I'm not scared of no one.
Lubin says you're avoiding him to take a lesser fight.
Who? Lubin?
Lubin.
Bro, I was preparing for him for 7 weeks already, man. I've been preparing for a southpaw for 7 weeks, and then I get the call that Lubin outpriced himself and this and that. Well, what am I supposed to do? You know? And then they call me the next day and say, Keith Thurman, T-Mobile Arena, booked. I'm like, how good's this? It doesn't get any better, you know?
Does that give you the upper hand in this fight? Do you believe that?
Activity, momentum, that builds up everything. Of course. He's been, I don't know what he's been doing, 2 years honeymoon probably, I don't know.
Do you think a win over Thurman is going to entice, Terence Crawford, maybe to face you? Because I know that's been on your hit list.
Yeah, well, I respect Crawford. I think he's one caliber of a fighter, but we were in negotiation to fight. But this fight came across first, and I think me and Crawford will definitely collide in the future for sure, 100%.
What does it feel for you to be the main attraction for PBC's first show on Amazon? To make your grand coming out party in the U.S. soil like this, what does it feel to have that backing from PBC?
Honor. It's an honor, man. Honestly, like, you can only start a streaming platform once, you know, and I get to do it with them, and it's an honor. And I want to do it in spectacular fashion, you know, not just a victory or tippy-tappy victory. This is going to be spectacular.
Does this kind of also provide a preview of the big fights that they've promised to you moving forward?
Of course, you know, there's so many names. The 154-pound division is red hot right now. Besides Charlo, he's I don't know what's going on with him. He's long gone. But it's interesting. You got Spence moving up. I'd definitely love a fight with him one day. Even I can move up to 160, even 168, man. I'm not afraid. I'm a throwback fighter. I'm not afraid. I'll fight anyone. I don't give a shit.
You want to throw your name in the Canelo hat too?
Oh, I'd love to, man. I'd love to. Me and Canelo, I'd love to, you know. I'd love to.
What do you think about Canelo Benavidez?
Canelo Benavidez. Look, I'm a big fan of Benavidez. I think he's an absolute monster, absolute animal. If they were to fight, my hand would be on, my brain would be on Benavidez.
When you talked about Spence, when he broke the news about his eye, the cataracts, just what was your thoughts on that? And any concerns on maybe his career, maybe a fight with you might prevent that from that?
Well, no, I think he's all right. I think that stuff will recover. I don't think Spencer's ever been the same after his car crash. Even with the Terence Crawford fight, all praise to Terence, of course, but it looked like it wasn't the same Spence. He was off in every way possible. That's just in my opinion.
When you mentioned about
Man, this is what when you're born, this is the reason I'm born. You know, I loved Australia. It was great, but this is where it's at, man. And I'm blessed to be able to be doing this, and I'm calling it Tszyu SA because this is the takeover.
Can you take us through your regimen, your training schedule, what that's going to look like as your new home base in the United States moving forward?
Yeah, I'll be training in Vegas. 8 weeks camp starts. I've been prepping already for a month, 8 weeks already. So 8 weeks, get quality sparring in, and then get the job done.
You've been an active fighter, 3 fights last year, looked great in all of them. Thurman hasn't fought in 2 years. Do you think ultimately the secret to the sauce is going to be you being the active, fresher, younger fighter and just outworking him?
No, it's not. That's part of it, but there's also other parts, and it's just going to be I'm that much better, and he's gonna realize it. I'm gonna do what Pacquiao didn't, and that's knock him out.
There's a really big welterweight that, at some point he's going to enter 154. It's Duran Ennis.
Yeah.
Does that fight, do you see that you guys clashing one day?
Yeah, one day for sure, man. One day for sure. Once he moves up. Look, I'll be moving up to 160 as well.
Oh, wow.
So I've got maybe a year and a half left, maybe a year at 154. I'm going to accomplish all my goals. Try as many big fights as I possibly can. And then we'll move on to 160, 168, who knows?
You think the fact that you didn't get the other Charlo, that might put you in a position to get the bigger Charlo, Jermell versus Jermell?
I told you, I'll fight anyone. I don't care.
But there's one excitement, like a little bit more?
Put both Charlos on the same night, actually, man. They can tag team each other and I'll go by myself.
Thanks. We'll do one.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim.